Welcome, Wildcat Nation. I'm your host, Ashley Miller, bringing you the 21st episode of PodCats. Joining us today is the head coach of the women's volleyball team here at Culver Stockton College, Coach Lauren Eldridge. Thank you for joining us today, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
This is Coach Eldridge's first season as head coach here at Culver, and she comes in with a very impressive background. She did 2 years as a graduate assistant at William Penn University and played collegiately at Missouri Valley College, where she was a 3-time all-conference selection, including first-team honors in 2013. She served as captain for the Vikings for 4 years and posted an impressive 1,155 kills and 125 service aces in her career, helping the Vikings to a national tournament appearance. Quite the impressive stats that you have there, Coach. What made you want to come to Culver?
Just being in the Heart of America Conference. I mean, I've been here since day one as a player, and it's a competitive conference, and I like Midwest. I'm from Kansas City, so I know the area. Being somewhat close to home, close to family and friends, really pulled coming here to Kansas, Missouri, and knowing Culver Stockton from playing and coaching against them. I knew the facilities were awesome and that the coaches in the past had done a good job, and really just wanted to be somewhere where I was kind of familiar with already.
So how has being involved in the conference before, how do you think that's going to make you a strong coach here at Culver?
I think it gives me an advantage because I know all the players that have been through here at other schools, at this school, knowing that seniors that have left or incoming freshmen and sophomores that have already played a season or two in the conference, and also knowing that teams that maybe been bottom before in the top and vice versa, that teams are changing every year. We have new coaches in this conference almost every year. So things are constantly changing, especially when we get a new team almost every couple of years in the conference.
So last season, the Wildcats finished 10-19. So what are some of the things you're focusing on coming into practices this year?
Coming into practice, we're all about competition. We do a lot of competition drills, putting all the girls in one position, not against each other, but a healthy competition, so they know that if you want to be on the floor, if you want to start for us, you have to be able to hit this shot, hit that shot, and do everything well-rounded instead of just having maybe 1 or 2 good things. We want to be able to do 3 or 4 things because that's what's going to get us to get some wins, get us in the middle of the pack of the conference instead of staying in the bottom.
So having seen some of the teams that are in the conference, what are some teams that you're excited to face this year? And then what are some teams that you think are going to be a challenge?
I'm really excited to face, obviously, my alma mater, Missouri Valley. We go there, so we get to play at their home court. That'd be fun to see that. And then going back to William Penn as well, we have to play them twice. We actually have a girl that transferred from William Penn. Matchup, play against players I've coached against, so I'll know their weaknesses and their strengths. And another team I'm excited to play is probably Benedictine because that's our first game. They're always a fun game to play against. Their atmosphere is awesome, pretty crazy crowd. So we have to know what to do with that. But I think those games could be fun. Some of the games that are going to be pretty tough for us, for sure, are going to be Grandview, Park, Senior. They're the top 3 of the conference. And Park is new to our conference this year, so we haven't seen them in a while. We haven't played them in over 5 years, I believe. And so having them come in is going to be a little bit different, something we're not expected. And that's all those games are away, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle playing on away courts.
So not only are you coming in as a first-year head coach, you're also coming in the middle of the COVID epidemic. So can you walk us through how your practices have been different so far this year because of it?
Yes, our practices have been a little bit slower, which isn't the best, but we have a lot more drink breaks. Every time you go to drink, you have to drum mix your hands. They do that before and after practice, when they get their water breaks, and even when we're doing huddles or if we're in the circle talking, if I'm talking to them, they're still socially distanced, so it's more of a spread out type thing instead of all being in a huddle. We wear masks the whole time for practice, and they wear masks everywhere they go, so they have to take some moments of time to breathe, because going 30 seconds in a row of playing volleyball with no AC, it kind of gets a little rough in there, a little sweaty in there, so I had to use different types of ways to get breathing moments in, and practices I feel like are almost half the time drum X and breathing moments.
Well, hopefully the girls are cooperating with you. You guys are all getting through this different time together.
They're doing pretty well.
How are you preparing? Because I know with the COVID restrictions for some of the teams, they're limiting the amount of players you can bring to away games. Is that going to affect your team at all this year?
No, we're still bringing all of our varsity girls, so we kind of already set a good amount, not too many, but enough that most of them do live together. So if something were to happen, it would stay in with us or would stay on the other half of our team.
So the Heart of America Conference recently released their preseason poll where Culver was ranked 13 out of 14 teams. So what are your goals this season to try and blow that ranking out and prove them wrong?
I think our goals is to really be in the top 10, be in the single digit number. We definitely can do that. We upset Mid-America last year and Peru last year. People weren't expecting that, and I think that's something that's going to happen this year too with all the different changes in teams, new girls, and we have basically a whole new team this year. Maybe 3 returners that are starting, and then the rest are going to be newbies. So we're going to be a whole new team. People aren't going to be expecting or know what we have as our weapons. So I think going in, competing in every single game, even if we win, or if the girls don't have that mindset of last year, oh, it's a Grandview Park CMU type team, we still have to go in every match expecting to win.
That's a good I'm sorry, I don't have a word. Oh my goodness. Mindset. That's a great mindset. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So you said you have a new roster, young team this year. Are there any players that we should be on the lookout for? Some standout players?
Yeah, I think Jada Perkins, she's a transfer from William Penn, so she only has 1 year of eligibility left. So this is her senior year. I know she wants to go out with a bang, so she's going to do anything, everything she can in her power to really have a great senior season, especially against that conference that she's already been in. She knows the majority of the teams, and she's already meshed well with our girls. We have a transfer, Gabby Jesus. She's from New Mexico. She's from Puerto Rico originally, and she already has the year under her belt of studying at the JUCO level. She's going to come in and run our offense for us. I'm pretty excited to see her really flow during games. Then we have a freshman, Taylor, who's from Bolingbrook, Illinois. She has a 32-inch vertical, so she jumps out of the sky. Yeah, she jumps out of the building, basically. But I'm really excited to see her grow, especially these next 4 years. But this year she's already started to show that she earns her starting position on the right side, and hopefully she can just hit the ball over all the blocks.
So talking about earning their starting spot on your team, what are some of the things you look for from your girls at practices to get them out on the court during game time?
I'm big on communication and attitude. I want girls on the court that are communicating 24/7, especially our back row players. They're telling their hitters where to hit. You have 1 block, 2 blocks, and our setters should be running the show since they touch the ball almost every single rally. They're communicating all the time, always talking to the hitters, yelling, screaming, getting excited when we get points. And also attitude. That's the big thing on mine. If you have a bad attitude, you're going to come into practice or a game. You're probably not going to play very good if you have a bad attitude because something else in the day or maybe something outside of volleyball affected you. Once you step on the court, you have a positive attitude, good attitude. That's kind of where volleyball comes in, that you can really just relieve all your stress. And always tell them, if you're mad, act like the ball is somebody you're mad at. Take it out on the ball.
Take it out on the ball.
Yeah.
I like that. That's funny. So outside of the seriousness of practice, do all the girls, are they all getting along? Are you guys having like a good bond so far? I know you haven't been able to be together a lot, but
They seem like most of them all do live together, so they have that connection with the roommate. But we actually had a team bonding event last week. We did a movie night in the gym. We put up Pitch Perfect on the wall, and they all brought in blankets, pillows. Somebody brought in a blow-up futon to lay on. And so they did that. And then tonight we're actually having another team bonding event. It's the Minute to Win It games, and they are in their little own groups. And it's going to be a team competition. We have 5 groups, and I think we have 20 events, and then we'll see who is the best at Minute to Win It games. And they all seem to get along. We haven't had any problems so far. They all have really good chemistry. They all laugh and joke. They dance too much at practice, so.
I've definitely met some of the girls on your team Megan. I know she was very spirited last year for
Yep.
her team. She's a very funny person.
Definitely have 2 or 3 more added on to that as well. So
Oh my goodness. All right, so you do play Benedictine College on September 6th. This is the first game that you're going to have this season. What are your thoughts going into this game?
a whole bunch of thoughts. We have so many emotions going into it. I mean, this is our first game of the season and it's our first conference game. It's weird that we're kind of going in blind because it's going to be their first game as well. So we don't have any film on them, no stats on either team. So they're going to be going in as just as good. But I know we've been up to trying for the game, doing game-like drills, scenarios, so they get understanding of the game. Because I know having half newbies being freshmen, they've never played a best of 5 game if we go to 5 sets. So it's going to be a different atmosphere. College level is a lot more faster, different kind of atmosphere. So we've been working on that. Really, we started using the game clock yesterday so they can see that and actually visualize everything. I mean, I think as long as we stick to it, Benedictine's a whole new team as well. I've been talking to that coach, and she said that they are kind of in the same boat as us. They had to slow stuff in the beginning of preseason, and I think that's going to help us knowing that we were both kind of slow to the start and then this last week getting right after it. But it should be a good game, I think. I think we have a good chance of winning, good chance of it going either way, but as long as we go and compete, I'll be happy.
That's all you can hope for. It's a weird time for everyone. So it's kind of put a learning curve on lots of teams. So hopefully everyone can figure it out. You were scheduled to play Peru State on Sunday, the 7th of September. That game got canceled. Are you expecting more cancellations on your schedule this season because of the virus?
Honestly, probably yes. I don't want them to get canceled, but we have to think about the season and having a long, healthy season. So if we have to cancel one now, we're going to just postpone it until maybe the end of the season or middle of the season so their team is healthy and we don't have any high risk playing games.
We want to see you guys play for sure. I think everyone on campus is excited to get back to some sort of normal with the athletic events. Well, thank you, Coach, for joining me today. I feel like we got a good insight on our women's volleyball team. Good luck to you on your game this weekend.
Thank you.
And Wildcat Nation, you can catch the Lady Wildcats in action Sunday as they travel to Kansas to take on the Benedictine Ravens. The Wildcats will have their home opener on September 12th against Columbia College. Thank you for listening and supporting PodCats.